Hello, welcome back again. I am the packing preacher. So this is going to be in part two. Again, this is going to be part two of my EDC. How we are going to go through the process. I have three EDCs in my rotation that I carried. Again, when we say rotation, it means I rotate them out here and there, depending on what I'm wearing, how I feel. One gun is bigger than the other. Two of them are pretty much kind of the same size. And so my first video I talked about was my Hellcat Pro Comp that does have the O-Sight SE red dot mounted. That was in my part one. So go and watch that video. So let's go and talk about my second. I'm going in the order that I'm currently carrying them. So my Hellcat is my primary, where I pretty much grab every time. Now this is going to be my second pistol. And so now we're going to talk about this particular one. Let me get my talking points up. Try to make this video a little shorter than the last one. The last one went quite long. All right. So again, always for YouTube purposes, this particular pistol is clear and free. No, nothing in the chamber, nothing in the magwell. Magazine is empty. No bullets are nowhere near me or around me in this. I am in a safe area. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Canik Mete SF. I know that's probably a little hard to see. Mete, and really the Canik, or however you want to pronounce it, again, has some different pronunciations from different people, but I call it a Canik. Again, this is going to be a Canik Mete SF. Again, SF stands for its short frame. This is optic ready. This does have a Holosun 407C mounted on the top. This does come with one magazine. I do carry, when I am carrying this, I always carry an extra magazine. I have multiple Caniks. I want to say I have a total of 4 Caniks. And all the Caniks I have, their magazines are interchangeable. And so this particular mag came with this gun, but it only comes with one. And so this is a 15 mag, and of course that means this is 16 plus 1. So let's kind of go ahead and start talking about this. So the intro, so of course this is a Canik Mete SF, where it fits in the Canik lineup. Listen, this is kind of starting to become obsolete because of the Canik Prime that is now out, and especially when it comes to the comp version. Listen, I will be getting a lot more Caniks. I was never ever a Glock boy, okay, and still am not. Still am not. Yes, I have 3 Glocks. I have a Glock 21 SF, which is my nightstand gun. I have a Glock 23, which is a old police detective trade-in that I got. And then I have my old, this was before I started carrying any of these 3 pistols, which I was carrying this particular pistol, which is a Glock 30 SF. And I stepped away from that, and I am now into these 3. So again, we have the Canik Mete SF with a Holosun 407. This particular pistol, is designed for EDC, home defense, and of course, always as range use. Now, I will say, I would put this, and I have had this when I was carrying this within, if it was originally carrying, this would be on my nightstand. I would put up my 21. My 21 right now has, I want to say it's 1245. So, 45 ACP with 12 rounds, 12 plus 1 is a lot. This is 15, so I am getting just to get 3 more bullets, but I'm a very good target, a very good shooter. So if I'm hitting my target with 45s, I promise you, I'm not going to need all 12 rounds, but that's neither here or there. We're not talking about that. That's only in a self-defense mode. But when we say what is this pistol designed for, it is designed for EDC, home defense, and of course, range use. I would use this for home defense. But as far as my Springfield Hellcat Pro, I wouldn't. I personally don't. I'm not saying you can't. I don't. The ergonomics, so when we're looking at the first impression, the ergonomics and the grip texture, again, great gripping. When you do get your case, this does come with multiple back straps that you can change these out. But overall, the text grip, very great, very sandpaperish, great overall. When you're looking at your hand here, putting your hand up, especially when you're doing a full first your finger, putting your thumb up. It does also have some sandpaper here as far as your thumb rest goes. Overall fit and finish, a great gun, weight and balance. It is a little heavier, but with it being a little heavier pistol, even when you have a full magazine in, this is not snappy. Low recoil is phenomenal. This pistol is again A1. This was originally my number one, but I got the Springfield just for something lighter, especially with summertime right now. We're in June, and so I had to move to something smaller. So I've been carrying my Hellcat now for about 2 months, and so but originally this was my number one. I'm a Canik, and the reason for the Canik was this thing right here that has a little red, the trigger. I have not shot high-end guns. I only, shot your small high-end, so 800 and under pistols and these budget pistols. For Canik is very budget friendly. We start getting into the primes, they do start getting a little more expensive. They can get up to 700. I bought this off a website from a guy. Again, I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for it, but for real, I hate that I did it, but he was needing Christmas money. I bought this around Christmas. I pretty much robbed him of this gun. And this was a brand new pistol, brand new. He had not even gotten to shoot it. This was a brand new pistol that I got from him, and I got it for dirt cheap. But anyway, moving on. And so this gun is a little heavy on top, but I love it. A modern, stylish, slide design, great serrations on it. Any way that I wanted to do, great. Now, when we look at key specifics, of course, this is a 9mm. We're going to talk about the barrel length and overall dimensions. Again, the magazine capacity. Again, you do get one 15-round magazine. Of course, it does come optic ready, and also it does have an accessory rail for light and lasers. Features. This is an improved Mete frame enhancement. Again, when you look at it, it is ambidextrous, so you can drop the slide, from multiple sides. You want to do it from this side, you want to do it from this side. It does allow you, even when it comes to the magazine, you do have the ability to switch these out, just pulling a pin. I even learned that I originally he was left-handed, so his magazine drop was over here. I watched the video. It was able to show me how to move the pin, and I was able to move the pin with no issues. Next, again, we talk about the aggressive slide serration for easy manipulating the pistol. Again, we can do it from the back, or we can do it from the gun. Of course, y'all can see me always trying to move it with the optic, but of course, I can move it again with front or back serrations. It does have an enhanced beaver tail. That is one thing I like versus the Glock. I'm not getting bit by the slide when it's coming back, so this perfect fits in the hand well. Does have a undercut in the trigger guard to allow you to get that finger in there, good grip of the pistol. And so again, I do love this enhanced beaver tail, and again the undercut of the trigger. Again, we talked about it at optic ready, ambidextrous. Again, this is friendly control. For people who may be left-handed, this gun will be perfect. Trigger performance. Canik's reputation for excellent trigger, factory trigger, is the again, this is my opinion. This is the best number one trigger out of the box of any pistol. Out of the box, the best trigger on the market. Trigger pull weight, great. Even with the reset, quick. You hear it pulling it, reset. Hear it real quick. I mean, you're not even barely seeing my finger move. Quick. Break to the you got to break to the wall there. Not bad. And then this is the break here, and then this is the crisp. Very short. Reset. I actually gotta pull it, and again, watching it. Let's listen to it. Very quick reset. Very quick reset. The take up, wall break, and reset again are excellent on the pistol. Again, Canik has the best. I am calling it the best trigger on the market. Next, compared to other striker fired pistols, listen, I'm I find guns, and I'm not like other people where I'm out here testing a multitude of guns. I test what I want to shoot, what I want to own. So I'm not shot a lot out here. So compared to other striker firepower pistols, I couldn't do that. Now the range, reliable with various ammo. Again, I shoot a lot of different ammo through this gun. I've shot well over 500 rounds through this gun. So we talk about shooting over 500. No malfunction. People talk about Caniks. Y'all can kick rocks. Y'all really can. Y'all can kick rocks with all the extra. I have not had one malfunction with this pistol. Not one. Accurate at different distance. So we talk about that 715 to 25. The recoil impulse and muzzle rise, very low. The weight of the barrel being top heavy keeps the recoil very low. Follow-up speed shots, excellent. I am what a great grouping at 25. Shooting cadence, doing rapid drills. We're doing different cadence and things of that sort. And so I do indoor range, outdoor range. But listen, you all, for real, this is making me want to pull my Canik back out. Listen, y'all, want to pull my Canik back out. So concealed carry consideration, comfortable for everyday carry. This gripping, even with a holster. So we talked about it again. These are holsters that I got off of Amazon. I do have a wing on it. This is a little different wing that I got on my Hellcat Pro. I changed out again the belt clip to a metal belt clip. Makes it, I love it more. This does show this is for a Canik TP9 SF Elite. That's the good thing about Caniks with the holsters. Any Canik, they will work. Besides the thing, I don't know, you can start getting into your rivals and things of those sort, if they'll fit into these, but your TPS9s and those type of things, the Prime, all of these pistols can fit in the same holster. And so I do also have an Elite. I also do have just a regular TP9 SF. I have a regular one and an Elite. Again, be on the lookout. As far as the packing preacher goes, I will be putting out a lot more videos of every gun, shotgun, and AR that I have. So I'll be putting out more things. So again, just another cheap Amazon holster. I probably didn't even pay $15 for it, but it does a great, put it in, clip. Again, nothing. This gun is fitting in here. It's not coming out. Great pulling out. No issues at all. And again, having... Again, I have to figure out what this is, y'all. I didn't totally forgot. My brain is not even there to tell you. But again, what happens is that I have this pistol, or the holster is not digging into my privates. And so what this does, you put this on this, and this pushes the gun away. See how much room that is? But what that does is that pushes that, and so the gun is no longer showing. If it's here, is pushing it closer to my body, so it's more concealable. Host availability, again, Canik is come up in the world, so a lot more companies are making, especially with the new Prime out. So a lot of companies are making holsters, and so again, if you have a Prime, looking into a Prime, the Mete will fit in any Prime holster that you get. Again, concealability compared to compact competitors, again, still very short with the um, handle grip there. You're not, for me, being a big guy. I said in my last video, I'm 6'5", 250 pounds. I got a little gut. And so with this particular holster and this particular device, this helps move that gun back away so that I'm not printing. So I love these things, and I'll figure these out. I will do a review on what these are, and so people can, want to know. Next, weight versus capacity benefits. Again, this is a little on the heavier side, even when you start putting in a full magazine. But for me, it's not heavy. I was used to carrying heavy guns. Again, I started out, my original EDC, when I first started carrying a pistol, was a Springfield XD45, the duty model. So full 4.5 barrel length. I mean, big boy. I was carrying a big boy because I am a big boy. Weight-wise, I wasn't the same weight at 21 that I am at now. So now when we look at the comparability of this pistol to other things, people compare this to a Glock 19. Again, I'm not a Glock boy, so I didn't worry about Glock. I've been hearing, I see a lot of videos, if you look at a lot of videos, people would prefer, because of this trigger, this Canik over a Glock. And because I'm not a Glock boy, I would pick this over Glock 19 any day. Have I shot a Glock 19? I have. And the Glock 19's trigger does not compare to this Canik. And next, you're going to have your Smith & Wesson M&P compact. I have had a Smith & Wesson. I am on the market of looking back. I unfortunately did sell my Smith & Wesson. And again, I also had a CZ P07 that I had. I got rid of it and I hurt, but I ended up getting my CZ back. We'll talk about the CZ in another thing. I'm glad because I like the CZ that I have now better than my old one. But anyway, I had a Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 and I sold it. It was in 40. It was not a 9mm. It was in 40. And I loved it. But I, was going through some things. We all go through some things. And so I ended up having to sell it. Another good thing about this does have a semi up a male flare, a magazine well flare. So it does flare versus other ones. And so that's a great thing to kind of have. This comes standard in these models where the magazine well is flared. And so that helps. And so this is also compared then to the Springfield Hellcat Pro. Again, I don't know why they would compare this. This is more to the 19 or the Smith & Wesson M&P. I don't believe it's quite comparable to the Pro because, again, they're not in the same weight capacity, length capacity, none of that. And then with the next one, this would be compared to is a Walther PDP Compact. So those are the guns that they compare this to. And two of those guns I would carry. I'm not big on Walters, but the Walther, I've shot them. The Spring is, of course, the Smith & Wesson I shot it. And the only downfall that the biggest reason why I was able to sell the Smith & Wesson over anything else I had was I was not a fan. And if I do get a Smith & Wesson, I would be changing out the trigger. The only reason why the Smith & Wesson was the first gun I was okay to get rid of was because of the trigger. I dislike the Smith & Wesson trigger. It was horrible. But I do know that Smith & Wesson has come out, even with the upgraded 2.0s they have, with a flat-facing trigger. And so if I were to go back and get a Smith & Wesson, which I am looking for, a Smith & Wesson M&P, I will be getting a flat-faced trigger one already. But if I can't get one, I will be buying one. But moving on, we're going to stay on things. So again, we are talking, for those that are just joining, remembering, we are talking about the Canik Mete SF. This is optic ready with a Holosun 407. This is a great pistol overall. This is my second EDC in my rotation. This was at one point my first. It was my number one. Now let's talk about pros. Again, outstanding factory trigger, excellent value for the money. Caniks are very inexpensive. If you look at the MRSP, we'll talk about MSRP. Excuse me. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Very good. Optic ready from the factory, reliable performance, comfortable ergonomics. Some of the things, some of the cons. So those are pros. Some of the cons are going to be slightly thicker than their competitor. Again, we talked about this. Yes, I'm pointing a muzzle at me, but that's a good thing that we don't have any bullets in these. So when we look at these, that we see that they're not too bad off. But again, at the end of the day, the Hellcat is a lot slimmer than the Canik. Okay. Now let's move on. Next con would be an aftermarket support is not as extensive as Glock. So you're not having, to be able to do barrels and, all a bunch of other stuff that Glock, you can kind of do with Glock and getting all the extras. Yes, so the Canik is still, coming out. But the thing about it and why, there's not a lot of aftermarket support is the gun is already excellent, not needing to change out anything. That is the reason why there's not a lot of aftermarket. Why would I need aftermarket when the gun is already perfect as is? Next, magazine cost and availability may vary by region, as they indicated, depending on where you are. I am here in the great, I won't say the great state, but I am in the state of Florida, and the availability is available. I have no problem looking for magazines. Again, the only reason why I never went and bought more of the Mete mags is, again, because I have a bunch of other Caniks, and the magazines, again, are interchangeable. So I can put any magazine from any Canik inside any of the guns that I have. Next, so let's kind of talk about this, and we're about the 22 mark, and I'll get out of this video. All right, next, so we're going to look at the overall length. Overall length from front to end, 7.3. The height, 5.25. Of course, with the flush, and these do not come with extended magazines. And again, this is the weight is 1.75 pounds. The barrel length, again, is at 4.19. So again, we talked about the overall, it's at 7, but then you look at the barrel length from front to end is 4.19. Again, this is 9mm. It does come with a 15-round magazine. What we got next? Again, it is a semi-automatic striker fired pistol. It does have a pommel frame. This does come in two different colors, come in black or FDE, which is a tan color. Canik, this is considered a compact size. It does say that if you get a brand new one, it will come with two. Now listen, it probably came with two. I ain't gonna lie. When the guy gave me the gun, he indicated it was brand new. He had never shot it, and it was sitting in the box. Did not have a magazine, and this magazine was sitting inside. This probably did come with two. So one already been in the gun, and the second. But when he gave me this, it only had one. He probably took it out and forgot to put it back in. I'm not worried about it. I'm not at all. Not for what I bought this for. So again, this it's not like my Hellcat. This does not have a tritium night front sight. This just has a regular white dot. And then, of course, my rear are also white dots. So white dot in the front, white dot in the back. I'm great with my overall. So overall, ladies and gentlemen, so I hope you like this video. As always, like and subscribe. I am your packing preacher. This is my EDC part number 2, my second gun in my rotation, the Canik Mete SF in 9mm with a Holosun 407C on top. Well, I hope you liked the video. Until next time, we're going to part number 3. See you then.